We are back for round 2 of our weekly Sunday tournament here at Ettin Games and Hobbies. Thanks for joining us again. Back in the booth here with Grant. And for our next round, we got Cornbread going up against Dakota Haynes. Cornbread is running Poe and Ray from the new set, from the new two-player base set, and Ezra.
Very interesting.
Yeah. I did not they're both good characters, but dropping them down to 1 dice and throwing an Ezra in there.
I don't know, man. I love seeing creativity.
Yeah, we walked out there and his match was still finishing up from the last round, and he was able to get down to a strike team.
Yeah, he hit a strike team and the field medic droid and a blaster.
And he still had resources to spare.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy.
Well, Ezra's ability to steal resources is really underrated.
Yeah, it's definitely really good. I'm curious to try to put together a Ezra snap deck.
Oh God.
That
you're such a troll.
I just think it'd be funny.
Oh yeah.
Taking their money, making it so they can't claim.
The only time you smile in Destiny, right?
Exactly. When I'm playing choke decks. All right, so.
Looks like our players are going to get right into it and start the roll off.
So they're rolling off for the battlefield. And let's see what they go with. Cornbread's running the Obi-Wan's hut, I believe, or is he running Docking Bay?
Obi-Wan's hut.
Okay, so he does only have 1 character to use with that, and Dakota might actually want to take that so that he can continue to get shields on Vader.
Right. And he's generally going to play it a little bit faster just because he's got 2 characters instead of 3. And I mean, he'll want shields at the beginning of the game anyway. Interesting choice to run Moisture Farm with FN.
I mean, Nines really wants those resources.
Yeah, but Nines plays so slow that generally you're not going to be claiming anyway.
That's true. But, I mean, in this matchup, it could be good since Cornbread does have 3 characters and no action cheating available to him, other than maybe was All In included in that 2-player set?
I think so.
So he might have an All In to help him resolve his dice more quickly, but Dakota just going ahead and rolling in Nines, probably trying to get a resource. And Cornbread dropping down a Poe's Blaster onto Poe.
No big deal.
Poe's Blaster is an incredible weapon.
Yeah, especially for 2 costs.
Yeah, it's the only 2-cost weapon in the game that has 2 2-damage sides and a 3-damage side. I think it's the only 2-cost weapon in the game that has a 2 damage and a 3 damage. Oh no, the new Night Sniper has a 2 damage and a 3 damage on it.
Bringing in Ray. Oh, gets a stick.
Dakota's got 5 damage showing though right now.
And he does have the resource for it.
He has both resources. He probably wanted to get resources to play weapons on 9s, but I mean, if you roll 5 damage, just take it.
Yeah. That's exactly
and we'll see. Who do you go after here? I think you go after Poe, especially since he's already played that blaster on him.
Yeah, I agree. With no redeploy, I think it clearly makes him an obvious choice.
And I don't know if Cornbread has tokens, so
yeah,
maybe that's why Dakota was letting him borrow his.
That is his legal name, by the way, Cornbread.
So Poe coming in gets a +2 gun and a resource. We'll see if Ezra can link up with that. And Cornbread's holding a Sound the Alarm. I'm surprised he didn't want to play that. Maybe he just wanted Dakota to spend his resources.
Probably so. I mean, we had this discussion the last time I was on that if your opponent rolls damage with resources, let him spend it.
Yeah. One thing I'm worried about for Cornbread is that I don't think he has any redeploy weapons in his deck. He bought the 2-player set right before this. He's still a relatively new player, and so I don't think he has lightsabers or holdout blasters to be able to overwrite that Poe's Blaster once Poe goes down.
Mm-hmm. He's got a Defiance in hand, though, so he could Defiance the Poe dice just to try to get the range damage.
Or the Focus.
Or the Focus, even. Yeah, you're right. And he would have 6 damage showing.
Yeah, the only problem is the Defiance costs a resource, and he doesn't have one.
Oh, right, because of the blaster.
But Man, that is 6 damage that's about to be thrown into Baby Vader. And I don't think Dakota has anything to stop it. Yep, he claims.
And he's going to take an extra from Styx.
And he's gonna take it. And he's gonna take an additional one from Ray next round.
Yeah, so much damage being thrown around. Minimal upgrades too. That's the craziest part about it. But
I mean, we saw the same thing last game with Awakenings Vader and Captain Phasma.
yeah, these games are going fast. Do you think you keep that Defiance in hand? Just to try to keep Poe alive?
I mean, it's a 33% chance of being a field medic, basically, and a reroll. Like, if you're gonna reroll anyways.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know though. Anytime I have to spend spend resources, I want the sure thing.
That's true.
One card I've been really liking from the new set is Do or Do Not. It's a 0 cost that lets you reroll a die and resolve it, increasing it by 1. So I think that's a great card that, you know, if you're going to reroll anyways, why not get an extra shield, an extra resource, an extra discard, an extra damage out of it?
Yeah.
Dakota finally gets an upgrade down on 9s, rolls the F11D rifle, which is... And he gets the best side you can hit on it with 9s.
It's so gross. Just casual 2 damage that goes through shields.
So, keeping that shield on Rey so you can deal the damage with her ability.
Smart.
Yeah, I think these hero characters in the 2-player starter are really underrated.
I agree.
I mean, sure, the Phasma and Kylo are really really undercosted for what they do.
Yeah.
But I think if you're able to run, I mean, Rey doesn't need to be elite for her effect.
Yeah, but you're not looking to get 1 damage around out of activation, right? You want her to be rolling huge.
Right.
I felt like she would have been better at 11-14. That way you could have paired her with Chewie.
So Dakota plays a Momentum Shift, which is an interesting card. It lets you basically steal a shield from one of your opponent's characters and put it on one of your characters.
He wants to keep the Vader alive, man. I mean,
Well, and it means Rey couldn't deal damage that round.
oh, yeah, good point.
Or did she already roll in?
She had already rolled in. Because, I mean...
So, we talked about I Have You Now during the last game where it can be used defensively, and Cornbread able to show us there. He spun that Vader die from a 3 to a 1.
Yeah, and I think another reason that Dakota played that card is to, in case he rolls the special on Vader so he doesn't kill himself.
If he rolled double specials, then yeah, he would die, but...
Well, the likelihood that he would die from extra damage this round is pretty likely.
Right. So I think Dakota's just telling Cornbread that Your Salvation asks, just happy to see some new blood, new character versions in play these days. Agree the characters in 2-player box were nice adds. Yeah. Yeah, it's just fun again. You know, Destiny's fun again. You don't see... It's not Pomaz and Rainbow Nines.
Yeah.
And while I never really had many problems with those decks, they were a real pain for casual players that couldn't handle them.
Right.
I mean, I'm not an expert by any means.
I was about to say, whoa, someone's a big deal over here.
But I did have a lot of success against Pomaz and Rainbow Nines with Snap Solo. But
I love playing Rainbow Nines, but it's just nice to see other things. More fat damage coming out from Cornbread.
Poe doing work with that focus. Do you think that Elite Poe and Elite Rey from the 2-player set could be Tier 1 deck?
Tier 1? No, I don't think so. I just don't think that their abilities match very well.
I don't know. His special gives character a shield.
I think Poe has a lot of potential.
I mean, there was a box tournament earlier this weekend. The player that won was running Elite Poe with a Rebel Trooper and a rookie pilot.
Interesting.
So he wasn't And he's been running that for a couple weeks now since the release, and it's really explosive. I played against him at a tournament last week, and every single game he played that day, he dealt 8 damage turn 1.
Wow.
Yeah. What? He did.
8 damage round 1 every game?
Between post special and the 2 focus.
Yeah.
And having a 2 damage side on all your characters.
That's true.
Yeah. So Vader goes down. And it's looking pretty bleak for 9s right now. I don't know that there's anything Dakota could have done different unless, he had mitigation in his hand, but...
He didn't roll the resources he needed at the beginning of the round.
Yeah. And I mean, eFN-2199 can still finish a game.
Oh yeah, I mean, if he gets Poe off, he gets the blaster gone, probably arguably the best character die on Cornbread's side off the board as well, and he's still got basically a full health 9s.
Yeah.
All it takes is one big override with a rocket launcher into damage, and he's back in this game.
Yeah, Cornbread's damage potential drops a lot.
Yep.
If Poe goes down right here. And it would be really key if he could override and kill him right off the bat before he can roll out and resolve.
Yep. Yeah, he only needs 1 more damage. So all he has to do is just play 1 flat upgrade. Your Salvation says, after looking at the new cards in Empire War, I think deck variations are going to be exciting. I'm really thrilled to see what people come up with. Yeah, Justin and I are having a discussion that this feels like the most balanced set so far. There's nothing crazy. There's nothing like the 4 speeds coming out that everyone has to have or is going to be running all the time. There's a lot of niche combinations that people are going to be putting together, which I think is going to be very cool to see.
And Dakota override or playing the IQA on 9s straight up and gets the damage he needs to kill Poe. So it's looking pretty scary for Cornbread right now, actually.
Yeah, things just swung big time.
And I don't know if you play the Luke's Protection here.
I think it would have just rolled out Rey for the damage.
Yeah, probably just roll out Rey for the damage. Well, unless he wants to play an upgrade on her. But even then, why wouldn't you just play the upgrade?
Yeah.
Instead of Luke's Protection.
That's true. He probably just wants the extra shield because now he can ensure, if he takes damage on Rey, he can still put it back on by discarding Luke's Protection to put it back on top.
Exactly, but I mean, if he played the upgrade, if he played an upgrade instead of dropping the Luke's Protection, then he would have a turn to roll out Rey and deal that damage anyways.
Yeah.
And he could just play Luke's Protection at the end of the turn.
Yep.
I don't know. You're the one playing the Qui-Gon deck right now, so you have more experience with Luke's Protection than I do.
I just think it has to do with him wanting the shield on Rey for when she activates for the damage. So, like, if he's probably scared of taking a damage and that shield coming off. So that way he can, if he has to, he can wait for the dice to resolve, then discard Luke's Protection to get the shield back for the extra damage.
So Rey came in, dealt the damage to 9s, she hit the blank, and Dakota takes some money, trying to get 9s beefed up.
It doesn't look like he really needs it. I mean, he's got 4 damage showing.
Oh, he needed the resource to pay for the 2 damage.
Ezra loves rolling that plus range tide.
Yeah, it's too bad his only other range character died.
Yeah.
Just a moment ago. And I don't know how many ranged upgrades he has in his deck. Elite General Grievous, 7th Sister is what you're working on. Yeah, that 7th Sister just seems so interesting to me. But I haven't pulled any Seeker droids, so in 2 boxes I haven't, and several loose packs, maybe like 15 loose packs. I haven't pulled any Seeker droids, so I haven't got the chance to play her yet. But I think she could be really good.
Yeah, I mean, Elite at 11.
And Cornbread just throwing his dice across the table. Take that, Dakota.
Getting a little excited. The plus ranged again. That always feels bad when that happens. Just the one die side that you can't use just coming up over and over and over again.
And so Cornbread's going to play Defiance. Try to hit that +2 again and heals some, maybe. It hits a Disrupt, which is always good against 9s.
Yeah, he will get to use it.
And he heals 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think Defiance will be really good in like a Mace Windu deck. If you're able to Defiance and heal 4.
Oh yeah, I think it's an auto include.
Or a
in any Mace
Luke
window.
deck, or Han deck, or Sabine even. Sabine would be amazing because she has 2 3-sides.
Yes. Sabine would be really good. Mace is really good because your average is going to be 2. You know, it's almost always going to be a field medic and a reroll for you.
So Luke's protection getting used to throw another shield on Rey. Doesn't care about Ezra. He's probably going to... He had an inner strength in his hand. I'm not sure why he didn't just go ahead and play that at the end of the turn. Maybe he's trying to save up for something else.
Maybe he's searching for...
Oh, he has Strike Team as well. So, if Dakota doesn't spend his resources, he can play that Strike Team for 4.
Oh, yeah.
But Dakota's spending it.
Like 9s do. I didn't see what he put down, though.
Phasma's Blaster.
Oh, okay. Guess
So-
+3.
That's frustrating when
Yeah.
you don't have another character as a 9s player.
Salvation apparently didn't get any Seekers either, so you're not alone.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's always interesting when you pull several boxes and just don't get random little cards like that. Like, I opened 3 boxes of Spirit and only got 1 Caution of all cards.
Has anyone ever thought to play Retreat against the 9s deck? Yeah, actually, your Salvation, Retreat and Hyperspace Jump have been seeing a lot of play in Pomaz decks here at the end of Spirit of Rebellion. Those were actually the ones that were making it into the top cuts of tournaments, was these Pomaz decks with Hyperspace Jump and Retreat.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because you hit and run, roll Maz, Thermal, and then they play an upgrade, and then you retreat, and like all they can do is claim, pretty much.
Yep. Ezra rolling in gets the plus again.
The +2 on Ezra, man.
Base damage or resources, please. Dakota got back up to 3 resources.
Yep, already,
Nice.
and he's got 5 damage showing. So probably gonna go ahead and kill Ezra. I mean, it's 2 wasted damage here, but and Cornbread gets the discount for Strike Team because Dakota has 3 resources. So Strike Team is a new card in the 2-player set. It's a 5-cost support, and it costs 1 less. It costs 1 less if your opponent has 3 resources.
Its die side is really good too. I mean, it costs a lot, but the damage output from it is huge.
So Strike Team, yeah, it has a 2 damage, a 3 damage, 3 damage for a resource, a +4 damage. Could you imagine it's a trap on that?
That would be nasty.
Yeah, I would not be happy if that happened to me. A 2 Disrupt, which is also very impactful. Although, if I'm paying 5 for a support, I don't think I want...
2 disrupt.
Yeah, I just want damage.
Yep, I agree. The best part about it, I think, is the ambush on top of it. You know, you get a sick die side, but you also get an additional action when you play it.
And so Cornbread rolling in his Strike Team and hits that +4. He cannot roll base damage, or base range damage to save his life.
That's so frustrating to watch.
So discarding to reroll.
Hey, there it is.
Gets the 3 for 1. I don't think he has a resource to pay for it.
No. So frustrating. I feel bad just watching it. At least he gets an extra heavy hitting die on the board now, though.
Right. And he's actually looking like he's in a pretty good place. 9s is almost half dead, and all it takes is 1 good roll from that Strike Team.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that you pitch just whatever he's got in his hand to try to get something out of that Strike Team this round?
I think so. He's holding on to Distraction, which is actually not bad right now because Dakota has so many dice. But he's also got a Fierce Resolve, and I just don't know if he's going to have...
The opportunity.
Yeah, or the resources. He'll probably want to play his other 1-cost events.
Yeah, he should have re-rolled.
Although I don't know, Fierce Resolve could be a finishing move with the Strike Team because it's reroll 1 of your dice, then deal damage to a character equal to the value showing on that die. So he could just re-roll that strike team and deal 4 damage.
He did finally get damage out of it, by the way. He puts 9s at 7 damage.
So this is actually looking really close because Ray's going to deal damage on activation if Dakota can't remove his shields with an overwrite upgrade. And Dakota has so many resources.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't...
That's so scary.
Using the moisture farm is like overkill, you know, with how many resources he rolls on his dice.
Yep. See if he's got anything for an override. A rocket launcher would be so crazy right here. Just blow those shields up. Get rid of that consistent damage.
And it's really added up because, you know, I can't help but question Dakota's target priority. I mean, I think you do kill Poe, but I think you go after Ray first over Ezra.
I agree.
Her ability has stacked up, you know, at least 4 damage this game, maybe 5.
Dakota does roll pretty huge though. Gets a +3, a 1, 1, and another 1. 6 damage shown. Cornbread's gonna get the effective though, so it puts him at 8.
That's only 4 damage.
Oh, that's a disrupt? Sorry.
So going to get those shields off Ray, but not before Cornbread is able to activate her. And I think he rolled a 2 damage.
That he did.
So Cornbread only need 1 damage after dealing this 2.
He's got the Luke's protection. So he could deal the 2, play it, get the shield back after he resolves all his dice. And then it's almost an automatic win, depending on if Dakota plays any weapons.
Yeah, I mean, Dakota doesn't have the... Yeah, unless he has a balanced ambition, I don't think there's any way for him to...
Is he blanking the other dice?
So Dakota's playing... Cornbread's playing a new card called Recon, which is really... has gone under the radar. When I first saw it, I thought it was really good. I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet in a deck yet, but it's in the 2-player starter. It's a 1-cost event. Red says choose a symbol showing on a die, then turn another die to a side showing the same symbol. So able to use it defensively and or offensively. So Cornbread was able to play Recon and turn the IQA to a blank because the 9s die was showing a blank.
It looks like Dakota actually missed a damage there. Oh, is he correcting it? Yeah, there he goes.
He's playing Undying Loyalty.
Oh, okay.
So he's healing a damage. And then he's spending a resource to put it on top of his deck.
Yeah, he actually should be at 9 right now, I believe.
No, he played 2 Undying Loyalties.
No. Oh,
so he healed twice.
Okay. I missed the first one.
So Strike Team coming in, not giving Cornbread what he needs.
Loving Cornbread's play. I love Cornbread, period.
Cornbread is great.
Dakota saying, hey, does that count? Is that fine? That resource? I like it.
Or maybe he's mad that it's not rolling damage, but...
Maybe.
I mean, Dakota, it's only a 33% chance, so...
Yeah. That plus just keeps coming up. Cornbread cannot roll anything else.
Man, +4 damage. Man, I might need to start running Strike Team.
Yeah.
Like, if it rolls that good. So Cornbread just trying to finish off Dakota. He needs 3... Well, now he needs 4 damage because Dakota got a shield.
Yeah, I think he's got to re-roll again. I know he wants that evade, but...
Yeah, evade would be huge on the Phasma's Blaster.
Mm-hmm.
Or the IQA if it's a +3.
Do it, Cornbread. Push it. Because if he gets the...
So, I think he's going to keep the evade.
Think so?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know why you don't just discard the evade first. Over the Luke's protection.
Well, he's not discarding. He's the Luke's protection. He's using it.
Yeah.
Do it, Cornbread. Discard it. Yes!
So he's going. He's got a 50% chance to hit
No!
something. No, and he doesn't.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah. When stuff like that happens, I mean, you just gotta try to keep your cool. You know, realize it's a dice game. and it's just for fun. I have to remind myself of that constantly.
Smile every once in a while.
Yeah, I got called out a couple nights ago. I was playing in a tournament, and somebody called me out saying I don't smile enough when I'm playing.
I'm always shocked when I see you smiling here. Shelby not getting what he needs event-wise to try to finish off. He does get the flank, so he will have some mitigation. I said Shelby, I meant Cornbread.
Yeah, Shelby's got a direct hit. So that's another card in the two-player set.
Getting to see all sorts of new stuff.
Yeah, I love it when I see new cards in action, because then it helps me evaluate them, and I don't have to spend the time playing and testing them myself. So direct hit is a 2-cost red event, neutral event. It says resolve one of your dice showing damage, increasing its value by 2. So it is 2-cost.
But right here, he could do 5 damage. He's got the resources for it all.
Well, he can do 3. It increases the value by 2.
Yeah, but he's got a strike team.
Oh, right. If he rolled the 3 on the strike team.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were saying to use it on the Ray.
Mm-mm.
So Dakota's first action was the Undying Loyalty, which is pretty annoying. Dakota being able to heal that much.
Yeah.
Cornbread going ahead and playing a defensive stance.
By the time this game ends, FN should have died twice. Do you think you just go ahead and use it on the Ray dice, or do you wait for the strike team?
Yeah, I think you wait for the strike team, because if you hit that 2, it's game over.
That's true.
And he hits the 2 disrupt. Not what you want to see out of a 5-cost support.
Definitely not. Especially this late in the game. When FN has 6 resources.
Yeah, disrupt definitely not going to be effective now. I'm surprised Dakota hasn't tried to override any upgrades. I see he has a Force Choke in his discard pile, so... And he played an Outpost, which is interesting. Include in a 9's deck.
He must just
I
not
could
being...
see it if you were playing Imperial Armory, but...
Yeah. He's playing Clash. Yeah, Cornbread coming out with Clash. Gonna blank one of Dakota's dies.
And deal 2 damage. Potentially. Yeah, we're starting to get a lot of these multi-use cards, like the Recon and the Clash, to where you're almost able to build a deck now that has like multiple defensive and offensive effects.
I love it, yeah. I think it gives heroes a huge boost, especially.
Yeah, it makes it a lot more flexible when you're deck building to have things like that.
Cornbread deciding what he wants to do. Maybe discard, try to get the blank black damage side on the strike team, or just go ahead and deal the 2. Chooses the 2, which I think is the correct choice. I think if you wanted the strike team to deal damage, you should have saved the resources.
Your Salvation is saying this is a kind of game where First Strike would play well. I'm not sure what that does. First Strike. So First Strike is actually a villain card, Salvation. So that would not, Cornbread would not be allowed to play it. But First Strike is a red 2-cost villain event. Deal damage to a character equal to the value on opponent's die showing damage.
Cornbread does get the kill.
Did he? His strike team finally showed up.
That 5 costs actually doing work.
It's about time.
Yeah. I was so frustrated for him just watching those constant plus range sides and not being able to do anything with them. He left so much damage on the board because of it.
Yeah, I mean, between Ezra and the strike team, he had 15, 16 modified damage.
Do you put Awakenings in that deck?
Awakenings would probably be... Yeah, Awakenings would do...
Because that's 4 damage.
Things.
That gives it another damage side for the strike team.
Right. Awakenings... Yeah. Awakenings is another severely underplayed card.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, there are decks where you have enough base damage sides that it's not needed, but...
I think you'll start seeing it come about just because of players or things like Strike Team, and I think it also got help with Chariot when he came about in Spirit.
Yeah.
Because he had 2 plus sides as well. So I think that will be a huge impact going forward.
Yeah, I tested Chariot Ray early in Spirit of Rebellion, and I had Awakenings, and it does a lot of work, and it puts your opponent in bad situations.
Yeah.
Because typically your opponent's going to want to remove your base damage, but when you have Awakening out, and especially with Vibroknife, because your modified damage is still unblockable when Vibroknife is in the pool, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Awakenings or not, that damage is still going to go through the shields. Oh, you're welcome, Salvation. Thanks for watching, man. We love doing this.
Dakota was asking if he had Vibroknife in hand. I couldn't tell what he had in his hand. Those last couple of turns, it looked like he was mostly just rolling out and resolving his dice.
Yeah, it looked like mainly events.
He had a Force Choke in his discard pile, so I guess he's doing like a hybrid Holocron suite and weapon suite.
Yeah, that has to be what he's doing, because he did play the Holocron earlier. So what do you think that Dakota should have done differently?
I think he should have gone after Ray. Maybe not first, because Cornbread did drop the Poe's Blaster on Poe. Right. So it was pretty important to get that off the table. Having a 2 damage, a 2 damage, and a 3 damage.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Cornbread rolled very well those first couple turns. He hit almost max damage on all of his dice with minimal rerolls.
I think he hit 6 damage, 5 damage in the first 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, you can't ask for much better than that.
Yeah. All right, so stick around, guys. We'll be back for round 3.